Hi, Trevor from graphicare.ca, and this will be part 2 of our Magento installation on Mac OS X. If you finished watching our first video, we finished installing Magento by installing first the MySQL database and then downloading the Magento files and putting them into the web server location in OS X to be served out via Apache. This second installation part will be a little bit more difficult because we're going to be encountering some hurdles that will be overcome, but I'll take you through them step by step. So if we start off, we can start the Magento installation at this point by bringing up a web browser and typing in localhost/Magento. Localhost refers to the current computer that we're using. Because we're not testing this on the internet, we're developing locally on the hard drive, we'll just use the localhost reference. And then /Magento, because if you recall, we installed Magento in its folder here called Magento. So if I press enter, we get the Magento installation wizard. So the first thing we need to do is agree to the license agreement and hit continue. And now it will ask us about our locale settings. So I'll leave it at English. I will change our time zone to Eastern, New York. Well, we'll leave the dollar at US dollar for now. And our first error message has come up. It says that these three directories have to be writable. So we're going to have to make a slight change to the permissions on the Magento folder in order for this to bypass. So you'll have to bring up your terminal application. I'll reduce the size of my window a little bit so we can watch this process. Magento is served up from the Apache directory on OS X from a directory called library/webserver/documents. So I'll use the Unix command called cd, and I will go /library and press the tab key to autocomplete. Web server documents. And then I will go into the Magento folder. So I'll just type in Magento, press enter to autocomplete. Now, the reason we have to change the permission on these folders is because when we install Magento from the Finder automatically installed these with the ownership as being whatever account I'm currently logged into. However, Apache runs on OS X as a built-in user account called www. Because Apache needs access to write into these folders, we need to change the ownership of these folders to that particular user. So to do that, I need to elevate my privileges temporarily by issuing the sudo command, which is superuser_do, space change owner, which is chown, and I will issue www. And then we have to change the first directory it's calling for is app/etc. And then we'll also change it on the directory called var, and then the next one will be media. And I'll press enter. It's asking for a password. Just put our password in. Unix comes back and tells us it's successful in the sense that it only shows us a dollar sign. So I'll go back to Magento and I'll hit continue. And you can see here we got one more that we missed that it didn't tell us until we did it. It was called media downloadable. So I'll just issue the last command by pressing the up arrow key and pressing backspace. And we need to change it on the folder called media downloadable. Enter. Now I'll go back and hit continue. Oh, one more. Media import. Okay, we're good. However, we have one more error message now. Magento is telling us that the PHP extension mcrypt must be loaded. Now the reason for this is because we're using the built-in PHP library that ships with Mac OS X Snow Leopard, which is 5.3. It's fairly complete, however the encryption component or extension called mcrypt is not loaded. It's not part of the default installation. The easiest way to get around this will be to actually compile it ourselves. Now I have some instructions on our website which I'll put into the video notes here on how to achieve this. So it's actually very easy to do. So everything you need to do is right there on our webpage. I will tell you right now, you should have the Apple developer tools installed, so it either came with the original CD that came with your Mac, or it's on the Snow Leopard installation DVD. So once you complete those directions I give you on our webpage, you can come back and hit continue.